Hello, students, and welcome back. We are starting with the chapter 6 Attitude and Social Cognition. Hit that like button and let's start. Okay, so core concepts of social cognition. First, we will be understanding what is social cognition. Social cognition is all the mental processes which we are using to process the information about social world. Okay, that includes attitude, impression formation, attribution, schemas, etc. So, attitude is our views and behavioral tendency towards people, objects, and ideas. Impression formation is that we are forming inferences about other person's qualities on the basis of one or two characteristics, mostly physical. Attribution is when we assign causes to explain the behavior of ourselves and others, and schema is a mental framework of cognitive units that organize and activates our social knowledge. So, what are the three components of attitude? A, B, C, three components of attitude. First is affective, A, B is behavioral, and C is cognitive. Affective component is emotional component, okay. Behavioral is act component, which we are behaving in certain way, and cognitive is thinking, yeah, thought component, thought and belief. So for example, if I care about trees, my affective component is high. If I am working towards saving the trees, my behavioral component is high. But if I think that trees should be saved for the global warming purposes, then my cognitive, your thought process is high. Now, try to understand this, that it is not necessary that all three will be either high or all three will be low. It might be possible that in some cases affective is low, behavioral is high, and cognitive is high, or cognitive is low, behavioral is low, affective is high. It can be any of these following. So they can differ situation to situation and according to the object we are referring to. Next, we are coming to the four key features of attitude. First is balance, second is extremeness, third is simplicity or complexity, and fourth is centrality. So, what is balance? Is it positive, neutral, or negative attitudes towards the object? So, if I say that um, pizza, what is my attitude towards a pizza? So, do I like pizza or do I dislike pizza? That is my balance. Okay, is it positive, negative, or I really don't care about pizza? I can eat it either way or not eat it, it doesn't matter, then it will be neutral. Okay, extremeness means 1 to 10. How much will I rate? I really like pizza, I love pizza, it's my favorite food, then it might be 10. Okay, I really hate pizza, then it is 1 or 2. So, this is the extremeness of the attitude. Simplicity or complexity means how many attitudes are involved in that particular attitude or belief. Okay, so if I say that I like pizza, it is very simple attitude. It has no reason behind it. I like the taste. It doesn't have much substance or any other attitude supporting it. But if I say that I believe in God or I believe in democracy, then this becomes complex attitude. I can uh, say a lot of attitudes are backing this up. I can debate about it. I can think about it. A lot of depth is in this sentence. Okay, so this is the difference between simplicity and complexity. Now the fourth key factor which is come is centrality. Centrality means how important that attitude is in the overall system of a person. For example, if I take religion as a central attitude, okay, so my religion will influence how I talk to people, how I behave with people, how what type of food I eat, what type of practices and rituals I do. It will be central to all these other things as well. Okay, let's go to the next, how attitude are formed. So there are 5 ways through which attitude are formed. Learning by association, learning by reward and punishment, learning through modeling, learning through group and cultural norms, learning through exposure to information. Learning through association means, for example, I like the teacher, so I like the subject as well. Okay, that is associating. We are associating one thing with another thing. Learning by reward and punishment. If I am praised for certain, if I am praised to do my homework every day, I might start liking doing my homework. Okay, so that is learning through reward and punishment. Learning through modeling, we are observing others, parents, etc. Okay, if my parents are respecting elders, automatically I will also learn how to respect elders by copying them. Learning through group culture norms, adopting unwritten rules of behavior in a group, what our society is doing, what our people are doing. For example, if in my society people are throwing garbage here and there, I will also might start doing the same because people are doing that. Okay, learning through exposure to information, whatever the media, social media I am listening to on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on YouTube, the algorithm which is repeated, it will influence my attitude and it will form my attitude towards certain things. What are the four major factors? So family and school environment are the basics ones. Again, we are talking about the microsystem, which are the closest to the person and highly influential. Whatever my family is saying, whatever my friends and teachers are saying, I will believe them. I will form an attitude towards that. Reference group, the groups I am joining, my likes, dislike, anything, whatever their habits and attitudes are, I might adopt them. My personal experiences, if I have a personal experience, if I have a bad personal experience, suppose with the dog, so I have a negative attitude towards a dog, I will develop a negative attitude towards a dog. Media related influences, again, social media, news channels, whatever they are telling me, I will form an attitude accordingly. Let's go next. Now, there are theories of attitude change. There are three theories. First theory is the Hadler's balance theory or POX triangle theory. Okay, so it says that P is person, okay? O is another person and X is a topic. Okay, so if P and X has a positive relation and O and X has a positive relation, then P and O will also have a positive relation. But if P and X has a negative relation and O and X has a negative relation, then P and O also will have a positive relation. Okay, but agar P and O has a positive and O and X have the negative, then they will have imbalanced situation which will be negative. In that case, either one have to change his attitude or the relationship will be broken in that case. Okay, for example, let's take the case of dowry which is given in our book. If P is bride's father and O is groom's father and X is dowry, and P wants to give a dowry and X wants to take in dowry, the relationship will happen between P and O. But if P doesn't wants to give a dowry and O wants to take a dowry, the relationship will become negative between P and O. At the same time, if P disagrees to give the dowry and O also disagrees to take the dowry, then a positive relationship will be formed between P and O. With this, we are moving to the next two theories, which is cognitive dissonance theory given by Leon Felsner. Okay, he said that internal conflict, which are beliefs and behaviors, do not align. If the two belief systems are going against each other, one belief has to change, one attitude has to change to achieve cognitive consistency. That means the two components will be in the same alignment, same direction. For example, there is example, I smoke versus smoking is fatal. So this is creating a cognitive dissonance. I am smoking, but at the same time smoking is fatal for me. Okay? So either I will stop smoking or I will just let go of the fact that smoking is fatal and I will keep smoking. So that will create a cognitive consistency in my mind. Now, the third theory which comes is two-step concept, which is given by S.M. Mohisen. he said that there are two steps in which attitude changes. First is the target person who develops the liking for the source. We are taking the example of ads in this case. Let's take an example of ads in this case. Let's say target audience is young boys, or boys in their 20, men in their 20 to 30, and source is a famous actor. The person who does more sort of the action stunts. So if I'm producing an ad for a bike, let's say, and I'm making him the source, the actor as a source, okay, and I'm targeting the audience who is from 20 to 30 years male, okay. So the target people, the my audience should have the liking for my source, which is the actor, okay. And once they observe the source, they start imagining themselves in their position riding that bike, having successful and looking good while riding it with style and all, with the same flair, okay. And in the second step, the target observes and imitates source behavior, leading to the attitude change. The attitude will change towards the object as well. Now the target will have a liking towards the object as well. So attitude has been changed. Let's go next. What are the factors influencing attitude change? There are four factors. Existing attitude. Strong, central, and complex attitude are more resistant to change. The valence, extremeness, simplicity, and complex centrality. These are also important. Congruent or incongruent. They are in the same direction. If yes, then they are congruent. If they are in the opposite direction, then they are incongruent in nature. Okay. Second is sources. The sources through which we are changing the attitude. In the previous example, we took an example of an actor. Okay. So are they credible or not, and are they attractive or not? These two are the main things which people see. So if I am giving a dentist to do the ad for toothpaste, that means that person is credible, okay. And if they are good looking, then they're attractive as well. So that is the reason most of the actors do the ads of the different things, okay. Third comes message, okay. So message should be rational, okay. It should have emotional appeal, it should have a motive, and its mode should be good, okay. So the rational, if I'm saying changing LPG from stove gas, okay. So rational is that it will consume less gas and less smoke in the house. Emotional appeal will be my mother will be healthier, okay. My motive is to replace the um, charcoal based stoves. And mode can be anything, through social media, through person face to face, through pamphlets, through brochures, can be anything. Next come target. Target are the people we are targeting to change the attitude for the audience, okay. So how persuadable are they? Can they be persuaded easily? How strong are their prejudices? How high or low their self-esteem are? How intelligent are they? So these are the factors which will help us know how to create an ad, or how to create a social media, anything basically to influence people to change their attitude. Next, we are coming for the very important topic, prejudice versus discrimination. This question will come from 2 marker to 4 marker. It can come in the case based as well. Prejudice is an overall term, basically a negative attitude towards a group, often based on stereotypes, which is a cognitive component, stereotype, and affective components, dislike and hatred. So basically, prejudice is more of a cognitive and affective component, okay, which is based on stereotype, which is cognitive component. It's a cluster of ideas of the characteristic of a specific group. All members belonging to this group are assumed to possess these characteristics, okay. So we are saying that, let's say uh, let's say if I have a stereotype that a dog bit me, okay. So I will assume that all of the dogs in the world actually harm people. that will be a stereotype. Okay, and that will develop my cognitive and affective action. But at the same time, if I am throwing stones at the dogs, or I'm beating, or I'm running away, that is discrimination. Okay, that is the behavioral component in that. You can write the people example in this accordingly, but write it well. Don't write it in the manner of anything discriminatory. So the behavioral actions of treating people unfairly based on their group membership is the discrimination. White blacks discrimination in America is still happening. Racial discrimination everywhere is happening. So that is the behavioral component, means we are doing some actions to show our prejudice and stereotypes in that. Next, we are coming to common sources of prejudice. There are 5 sources in this. Learning, obviously, we are learning through associations, rewards, punishment, observing others, our society, our parents, our family members, our friends. We are learning through them. Social media. In-group bias, boosting one whole group. If we think that we are better than everybody else, that is an in-group bias. That means we are holding out-group as a negative attitude towards them. Okay, now the most important comes are these 3 terminologies. First is scapegoating, in which the majority blames the minority for their problems. Okay, whatever problems is happening, the majority will blame it on minority. Okay, city is dirty, let's say, majority will say it is happening because of slum areas maybe. Okay, so they are scapegoating, blaming the weaker section of society, a weaker group. Kernel of truth, if everybody is saying this, it must be true. Okay, when we hear some repeated information continuously through social media, through word of mouth, through everybody is saying it, we think maybe somewhere it's a truth. So that's called kernel of truth. Self-fulfilling prophecy, the targeted groups behaves in the way that confirms the negative expectations. Now everybody is saying that they are doing wrong, they are doing this, they are doing that, because of this is happening. Okay, so the group also says, okay, let's do that. That is self-fulfilling prophecy. Or they just give up. If I am saying a certain section of society is uneducated, they don't want to get educated, they are not struggling to get educated, so now the people will say, okay, we will not be educated, let's leave it at that. So that is self-fulfilling prophecy. What are the strategies of handling the prejudice? We have to minimize the opportunity for learning prejudice. We have to teach it in the schools that prejudice is wrong. We can't blame people. We can't discriminate against them. We can't produce racism. Changing such attitudes. De-emphasizing on social identity based on in-group. We have to more focus on we persona, as a entirety of a nation or as humans, rather than group based. Discourage the tendency towards self-fulfilling prophecy amongst victim of prejudice, the people who have given up because everybody is blaming them. You can help them. Okay, so how can we do that is by educating and information dissemination, by providing education, providing life skills, providing education to children that this attitude is wrong and all humans should be together and there should no groupism and all. Increasing intergroup conflict, intergroup contact. Okay, the mix match of the groups should be together, because there are many groups and handling in a different sections of society, different from each other, far away from each other. They don't know the people are good or bad. We are just assuming because they are not us, they must be bad. So intergroup contact can help in that. Highlighting individual identity rather than saying this person is North Indian, South Indian, or stuff like that. Why not highlighting the individual identity? This person is good in creative writing. This person is Good in problem solvings. This person is Aman, this person is Aditya. Why not highlighting the individual identity? So these are the strategies for handling prejudice. Hope you like the video. All the best for your exam, and I will be meeting you in the next. Thank you.